guys, it's gelindigkeit here. So today's video is going to be about how I edit my photos for Instagram. Last time I did how I photo shoot myself video, and then I promised you guys that I'm also going to do how I edit my photos. So here it is. Let's get started. So the first thing I do when I edit my face is I go to an app called Facetune 2. So I open Facetune 2 and then I click this button. I click it and then I select the photo that I want to edit. The first thing I do is I go to retouch and then I click this smooth tool. I apply it on my skin by just rubbing it. You can barely see the difference when you're using it, but after you use it you can see the big difference before and after using this tool. So here's the after and then here's the before. I always use it until like 79 maybe. After making my skin smooth, I go to this vibrance. What this tool does is it just makes the color brighter. So I'll show you. I'll paint my backpack so it's making it brighter. If I do it on my lips, you can see the big difference. So this tool works really good when you take a photo in front of like a colorful background. I use this tool until like 30. These are the only tools I use in retouch. And then the next thing I do is I go to paint and then I click paint and then I select this color below white. This is basically like a hack I use. I paint it on my nose like this. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically just popping out my highlighter a little more so that it just kind of stands out. I make it until like 20 maybe and then I check it. And yeah, this is all I do for face tuning. After I face tune my face, I go to photos. Unfortunately, my editing steps, it doesn't really apply for people who doesn't have iPhone because I use this a lot. So it's just basically like an edit settings in the iPhone photos. First I go to filters and then I click dramatic. And then I click this, I don't even know, it looks kind of like a sun. What I do here is I just kind of edit my photos a little more for like more details, brilliance, and then I kind of make it higher. I go to highlights and then I kind of decrease it to make a little more color. Basically, I don't really like use the same numbers. I don't always use like 0.24 of brilliance. I think it really depends on the photo. Brighten it a little bit more. Then I go to contrast and then I decrease it. Yeah, I'm just basically doing what I want my photo to look like. So here's the before and after of the editing. Then I click done. The next thing I do after using the edit in iPhone photos is I go to an app called Cisco. And then you click the plus icon on the top, the photo I edited. And then I'm going to use this icon beside the X. I go to the second button. Basically here you can edit your photos just like what I did before. Exposure, contrast, sharpen, adjust, saturation and all of that. Make it a little brighter. Saturation to add more colors. And then I'll go to grain. I use grain a lot. If you see my selfies, if you like zoom on it, you will probably see this, I don't even know, sizzly like effect. It's actually from here. If you use grain tool, it really makes it more vintage. I'll go for 2.6. It looks a little bluish, so what I do here is I go to split tone and then I go to shadows tint and then I click the orange 3.0 and then I go to white balance and then I just kind of increase the temperature and then I save it. Then I always save it as the actual size because if you like select small, medium or large, it makes the quality a little bad than the original photo. This is basically all I do for editing my photos. Like I said, I don't always use the same editing technique. It really depends on how the photo looks like. If the photo is colorful, I don't really use a filter, but if the photo doesn't really have a color like my selfie that I just edited, then I always use the technique that I just used. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please make sure to subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Shh.